Hello everyone, I am Dr. Preeti Khulpe, Assistant Professor Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. In today's video, we will be discussing about DNA ligase. In previous videos of this unit, that is the second unit in your syllabus of biotechnology in B Pharmacy 6 SAM, and in second unit, we have already covered two or three topics which is related to restriction enzyme and cloning vector. Two topics we have already covered. Now this is the third topic, that is DNA ligase. So all these things, the either it is the this we can say a restriction enzyme or the this cloning vector, all are used in rDNA technology. Okay, as we have discussed that the the process of the process of biotechnology in the is related to the thing that this biotechnology basically is a very important field of pharmacy. And in this the main thing about this biotechnology is the invention of rDNA technology, because by the use of this rDNA technology we can do multiple things. We can either we can say we can use it as a for the many diseases, in the treatment of many diseases, etc, etc. Okay, so if we see the learning objective and learning outcome, so we can say that this rDNA technology can be used in the sorry, can be used in the process of this in the process of the modification, or in the process of this means we can say the optimization of this biotechnology. The field of biotechnology is changed when there is the research related to rDNA technology occurs. So the main aim and objective of this topic is to study related to the all aspects of DNA ligase. Why DNA ligase is important, what are different types of DNA ligases, where we can use DNA ligase, why what happened if we are not using the DNA ligase, what are the applications of DNA ligase in the field of biotechnology. Okay, so all these things we will discuss in today's slides or today's topic. Okay, so yeah, so we are starting today's topic, which is DNA ligase. So the contents related to this DNA ligase topic is introduction. First of all, in introduction, we will discuss about the different things which are related to the introductory part of DNA ligase in this unit, in this topic. Then mechanism of DNA ligase, that is how the DNA ligase work. All these things are there in the mechanism of DNA ligase. Then unit of enzyme activity. So how the enzyme activity occurs in DNA ligase enzyme, how its activity is there. So that we will discuss in this topic. Then there are different type of DNA ligase. This is not that only one type of DNA ligase is there, or one type of enzyme is there which is known as DNA ligase. No, on the basis of origin, DNA ligase may be of different types. The four types are the bacteriophage T4 DNA ligase, E. coli DNA ligase, TAC DNA ligase, T4 DNA ligase. So all these things, what are these different types of uh, DNA ligases, and how these DNA ligases differ from each other, this we will discuss in this topic. After that, there is an application. So as I have already told you in the beginning that there are multiple applications of DNA ligases are there. So we will also discuss about this in the application section, then the references from where I have taken all the matter related to this slide. Okay. So now we'll continue with the introduction first. Yeah, so the first is the DNA ligase introduction. So as like as the as the DNA ligase catalyze. What is DNA ligase? First thing comes in our mind when we talk about the introduction. So DNA ligases catalyzes the formation of phosphodiesterase bond between the 5' phosphate of one strand of DNA and the 3' hydroxyl of another. So that is, we can say the DNA ligase is basically a type of type of enzyme which ligases or which catalyzes the formation of phosphodiesterase bond between two things. Now what is these two things? This bond phosphodiesterase is formed between the 5' phosphate of one strand of DNA and 3' hydroxyl of another DNA. Okay, if you know the structure of DNA, you know that there are 5' and 3', two types of ends are there. Okay, so that 5' phosphate and when the, or we can say phosphate group in 5' and when binds with the hydroxyl group of 3' end of DNA, so then there is a formation of phosphodiesterase bond between these two ends of DNA or between these two strands of DNA. So that is basically the work of DNA ligase is there. Okay, so this enzyme is used to covalently link or ligate the fragments of DNA together. Okay, as the name suggests, it is used for the ligating, or we can say it is used to form a link or covalently bind two ends together. Okay, now what is the need of this DNA ligase? So if you remember about the rDNA technology, so what is rDNA technology? In that we need a separate cloning vector basically. So that is the piece of DNA which we have to clone in the main DNA. So what we used to do, we used to take one portion, a specific portion of DNA, and we take another DNA and we add that particular piece of DNA into the that DNA, so that there is a change in the property of that DNA may occur. So that is basically there is a combination, एक DNA piece को दूसरे DNA में हम attach कर दे रहे हैं. So how it is possible? So for this we have already discussed about the restriction enzyme. In restriction enzyme we have discussed that restriction enzyme is used to cut the specific portion of DNA. Okay, what is there that if that specific portion of DNA is cutted, then what will happen? This specific portion of DNA which is cut by the restriction enzyme will remove and then will add a new piece of DNA there. Okay, for the activity. So now how we can add and how we can join these two DNAs together with the help of DNA ligase. Okay, so we can say that DNA ligase is used to form the covalent linkage between the two fragments of the DNA, okay, to ligate them together. Okay, so again we can go with the definition that DNA ligase catalyzes the formation of phosphodiesterase bond between the 5' phosphate of one strand of DNA and the 3' hydroxyl of another DNA. Okay, now this enzyme is used to covalently link or ligate fragments of DNA together. Okay, now next is the mechanism of DNA ligase. So the mechanism means how the DNA ligase works in the during the rDNA technology. This is the main thing about the mechanism. So mechanism of DNA ligase. The mechanism of DNA ligase is to form two covalent phosphodiesterase bonds between 3' hydroxyl ends of one nucleotide, that will be known as the acceptor, with the 5' phosphate end of another, that will be known as the donor. Okay, so mechanism is very clear. As we have discussed in the first slide also, there is a formation of covalent bond, which is a phosphodiesterase bond between 3' end and 5' end. 5' end has the donated the phosphate group, and 3' end of the hydroxyl end of 3' strands will accept this thing. Okay, and they will form the phosphodiesterase bond. Okay, so similar to that, the mechanism is very simple, and in this, the because 5' 3' hydroxyl and accepted the the thing, so that will consider as acceptor, and the 5' phosphate end is donating the phosphate group for this for the formation of phosphodiesterase bond, so it is known as the donor. Okay, so we can say that the mechanism of DNA ligase is to form two covalent phosphodiesterase bonds between 3' hydroxyl end of one nucleotide, and with the 5' hydroxyl end of the another another DNA, basically we can say. Okay? Now ATP is required for the ligase reaction, which proceed in 3 steps. Okay, so when we talk about DNA ligase, so obviously, as we have discussed, it is a very simple thing to explain that DNA ligase is used to ligate or used to make covalent bond between these two. Okay, so yeah, the process is very simple in terms of the definition. But when we talk about this DNA ligase process, so in this, not only the DNA ligase enzyme is required, along with this to do the for the activity of DNA ligase, the ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, is also required in DNA ligase reaction. Okay, now which proceeds in 3 steps. Basically, 3 steps are involved in the this activity. Now, first one is adenylation, second one is transpiration, third one is formation. Okay, now the first step. So here the ATP is required for the DNA reaction, ligase reaction, which proceeds in 3 steps. One is the adenylation. Now, what is this adenylation? So, adenylation is meaning the addition of AMP. AMP is adenosine monophosphate, okay, of a residue in the active center of the enzyme. Pyrophosphate is released. Okay, so what will happen? First, if we add the ATP along with the ligase enzyme, so what will happen? This ATP, will not use actually ATP, will add AMP here. So when we'll add AMP, that is adenosine monophosphate group, to the active center of the enzyme, that is where the enzyme should act. Okay, so there where we require the ligase, basically ligation, so we'll add the ligase enzyme along with the AMP. So by the addition of AMP in active site, there is a release of the pyrophosphate is there. Okay, phosphate group is there, so pyrophosphate will release from it. Okay, now what will happen in second step? Transfer of the AMP to the 5' phosphate, so called donor, formation of a pyrophosphate bond. Okay, now what will happen? This AMP is then transferred to the 5' end. Here the active site is there, then it will transfer to the 5' end, and it is it is with along with the phosphate group, it will form pyrophosphate bond in the 5' end. Okay, because here the AMP is transferred, so that's why it is known as for donor group, donor site. Okay, now in the third step, formation of phosphodiesterase bond between 5' phosphate of the donor and the 3' hydroxyl of the acceptor. Okay, so what will happen after the formation of this pyrophosphate bond? There is a hydroxyl group which is there in the 3' and it will make a bond with the this pyrophosphate this the 5' and with the pyrophosphate bond. So this along with the hydroxyl which is present in the 3 dash end, so that's why it is known as acceptor. Okay, so there is a by this there is a formation of bond between the 5 dash and 3 dash end occurs, and this process is known as ligation. And this for this the DNA ligase as well as ATP is required. So here you can see there are three steps, we can say adenylation, okay, then adenylation, then transfer of AMP from the AMP to the 5 dash phosphate, or we can say there is a formation of a pyrophosphate bond, and after that there is a phosphodiesterase bond is formed between the 5 dash and 3 dash hydroxyl end. Okay, so these three processes are there in the formation of in the mechanism of DNA ligase. So we can say the specific mechanism of DNA ligase is to form two covalent phosphodiesterase bonds between 5 hydroxyl end and the 3 hydroxyl end and 5 phosphate end. Okay, and ATP is required. For ATP requirement, there are three steps in this process: adenylation, second one is formation of pyrophosphate bond, and third one is formation of phosphodiesterase bond between 5 phosphate as well as 3 hydroxyl end. Okay, yeah, the screen is not clear actually. So the screen is bit blur, but I think yeah, you will understand after I'll explain to you. So here this slide shows that the DNA ligase reaction is there, which is given in this slide. Okay, now what is DNA ligase? If you remember that in the first slide also I have told you that it is a formation of ligasing. Okay, so DNA ligase is basically an enzyme which is used to ligate, which is used to join the separated fragments. The fragments which are cutted down with the help of restriction enzyme will then rejoin in case with the help of DNA ligase. Okay, so the reaction, as in the previous slide also we have discussed, that in this there is a covalent phosphodiesterase bonds is formed between 3 hydroxylin and 5 phosphate. So here you can see in the slide, this is the 3 end of DNA strand in which the hydroxyl group is there. Here this is the 5 end of DNA strand which has phosphate group is there. Okay, so phosphate group is there. Now what will happen in the DNA ligase reaction? The reaction between these two things occurs. Okay, so what will happen? This DNA ligase, when we'll add this DNA ligase in the mixture of these two, and along with the ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, so or we can also use NAD plus. Okay, and it will form the AMP first, then this AMP will react and it will form the 3 to 5 phosphodiesterase bond. Here you can see this OH will go here, and it is like, it donates its O, and they will, combine together and form a strand and bond between the bond which is known as 3 5 phosphodiesterase bond. Okay, now as in the previous slide we have discussed that first the AMP is attacked, or AMP is joined with the this 5 and it will then donate the phosphate group. Okay, so this phosphate group, which it is because it is donating the thing, so this is known as donor. As well as here in the 3 end, because it accepted the this, and it will act as the acceptor. And first here in the first step there is a formation of pyrophosphate bond, and after this there is a formation of phosphodiesterase bond occurs. Okay, so this is what we can say, the whole process related to DNA ligase is there. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we can say that there is a formation of phosphodiesterase bond with the help of DNA ligase enzyme and ATP. We can also use the AMP in place of ATP. Okay, and there is a formation of pyrophosphate bond here first, then it will convert it into phosphodiesterase bond. Okay, so this is the whole reaction we can say about the DNA ligase enzyme. So as you can see here also we have discussed that two bonds are there involved. Addition of AMP residue in the active center of enzyme, pyrophosphate is released, then transfer of AMP to the 5' phosphate, so-called donor, then formation of pyrophosphate bond because it is donating the phosphate group, then formation of phosphodiesterase bond between 5' phosphate and 3' hydroxyl end. Okay. Now the next thing is again the important one is the we can say the types of DNA ligases. Okay, so we have different types of DNA ligases. So DNA ligase is not a single type of enzyme. Basically, it has multiple enzymes which are involved in this thing. Okay, so E. coli DNA ligase is one of them. First DNA ligase enzyme which is there is the E. coli DNA ligase. So it is very simple to say that the origin of this DNA ligase is E. coli, or we can say it is it is encoded for the E. coli. Okay, so the E. coli DNA ligase is encoded by the specific gene. DNA ligase in E. coli as well as most prokaryotes uses energy gained by the cleaving nicotinamide adenosine dinucleotide. So NAD is actually required for the activity of this DNA ligase. Okay, so as we have discussed also in the previous slide, either the ATP or NAD is required. Okay, so for the activity of E. coli DNA ligase enzyme, the ATP is NAD is required. Okay, so this is known as nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Okay, to create the phosphodiesterase bond. Okay, it does not ligate the blunt-ended DNA except some under some conditions where polyethylene glycol is used. Okay, so we have already discussed about it that what is blunt end, what is even end, what is all the slippery end. So all these things we'll discuss. Actually we have already discussed, sorry. Blunt end, now I think you should know what is blunt end. So it does not ligate the DNA except under the some conditions. Otherwise it ligate the all other type but not the blunt ended DNA. Okay, either where the in blunt-ended DNA there is a use of PEG that we can use the E. coli DNA ligase enzyme. The activity of E. coli DNA ligase can be enhanced by DNA polymerase. Okay, we can say the activity of E. coli DNA ligase can enhance by DNA polymerase at the right concentrations. Enhancement only work when the concentration of the DNA polymerase 1 are much lower than the DNA fragments to be ligated. Okay, so concentration is very important here. When the enhancement of only works when the there is a concentration of DNA polymerase is greater. Okay, now when the concentration of polymerase 1 DNA polymerase is are higher, it has an adverse effects on on E. coli DNA ligase enzyme. Okay, so we can say Okay, so DNA polymerase are higher, which has an adverse effects on E. coli DNA ligase. Okay, so this is known as the DNA ligase E. coli. Now, second one is bacteriophage T4 DNA ligase, that is ATP. So, in this, basically ATP is required. That's why here the ATP is written. As in case of E. coli DNA ligase, NAD plus is required. Here in this, ATP is required. The DNA ligase from bacteriophage T4, a bacteriophage that infects the E. coli bacteria. The T4 ligase is the most commonly used in laboratory research. It can ligate either cohesive or blunt end of DNA or oligonucleotide as well as RNA or RNA hybrids, but RNA hybrids, but not single standard nucleic acids. It can also ligate blunt-ended DNA, which with much greater efficiency than E. coli DNA ligase. E. coli DNA ligase generally not involved in the not ligate the blunt-ended DNA, but either we have to use PEG for that. But in this, इसकी efficacy ज़्यादा है for the blunt end ligation. Okay, unlike E. coli DNA ligase, T4 DNA ligase has an absolute requirement for ATP as a cofactor. Okay, in that NAD is required. Here the ATP requirement is very essential. Means ATP is essentially required for this activity. Okay, now the some engineering has been done to improve the in vitro activity of T4 DNA ligase. Okay, so we can say that bacteriophage T4 DNA ligase, that is ATP, is required for that, and this is the DNA ligase which is like which is used for this ligation activity of cohesive as well as blunt ends. Okay, next is the tag DNA ligase activity. In this, the NAD plus is required. Okay, so we can say that it is derived from a thermophilic bacterium. The enzyme is stable and active at much higher temperature than conventional DNA ligase. So this tag DNA ligase has its own activity or has its own very good activity. So it delivers from a thermophilic bacteria. Okay, so tag polymerase enzyme bhi aapne suna hoga. So that will delivered by the thermophilic bacteria. So thermophilic bacteria is responsible to deliver the tag DNA ligase enzyme. The enzyme is stable and active at much higher temperature, as the name suggests. It is from the thermophilic bacteria, so it is like higher temperature is required for this. Its half life is 48 hours at 65 degrees Celsius and greater than 1 hour at 95 degrees Celsius. Okay, gaze is a DNA and ligase which has been shown to be active for at least 500 thermal cycles, 94 degrees Celsius and 80 degrees Celsius, or 16-hour cycle. This exceptional thermostability permits the ligation specificity. Okay, so we can see that this is a very exceptional thermostability which permits the ligation of a specificity, and it basically we can say tag DNA ligase ke liye that it is a thermophilic bacteria and it has activity up to higher temperature. Its half life in 48 hours and 65 degrees Celsius, and even in 95 degrees Celsius it can survive up to 1 hour. Okay, and one is another thing which is not a tag DNA enzyme, which is tag DNA. It is an ampligase actually, which has the at 94 to 80 degrees Celsius it can survive up to 16 hours. This is a very you know um, thing, very big thing to survive in that. Okay. Now the mammalian ligases. So in mammalians, There are four specific types of ligases. DNA ligase 1 ligates the DNA from the Okazaki fragments. Now, these Okazaki fragments, you know that there are some fragments which cannot bind, and they just move here and there around the DNA. So that is the Okazaki fragments. You know that in during the DNA recombination, there are some fragments which are left as known as Okazaki fragments. So in mammalians, there are four types of DNA ligase. DNA ligase 1, which is formed or ligate the DNA from the Okazaki fragments. DNA ligase 2, it appears to be used in the repair mechanism, and it is formed by alternative splicing of proteolytic fragments of DNA ligase 3, and it does not have its own gene. Therefore, it is often considered to be virtually identical to DNA ligase 3. Okay, it is very identical to DNA ligase 3. Now, DNA ligase 3 complexes with DNA repair protein XRCC1 to aid in sealing DNA during the process of nucleotide excision, repair, and recombinant fragments. Now, DNA ligase 4 complexes with XRCC4. It catalyzes the final step in the non homologous and joining DNA double stranded break repair pathway. DNA ligase from eukaryotes and some microbes uses adenosine triphosphate rather than NAT. Okay, so this DNA ligase uses the ATP only. So here we have discussed that in E. coli the NAD is used, otherwise the ATP is mainly used. Okay. Now we have discussed about all four types of DNA ligases: E. coli DNA ligase, Tec polymerase DNA ligase, mammalian DNA ligase, bacteriophage T4 DNA ligase. Okay. Now there, or we are going to discuss about the research applications of DNA ligase. So DNA ligases have become indispensable tool in modern molecular biology research for generating the recombinant DNA sequence. So if there is no DNA ligase, then recombination sequence is generation is very difficult, because lysis तो हो जाएगी, sorry, because lysis तो हो जाएगी, break तो हो जाएंगे, but उनको join करने के लिए we need the DNA ligase enzyme. Second application is a novel use of DNA ligase can be seen in the field of nanochemistry. In nanochemistry also DNA ligase is used. DNA-based self-assembly principles have proven useful for organizing nanoscale objects such as biomolecules, nanomachines, nanoelectronic and photonic components. Assembly of such a nanostructure require the creation of an intricate mesh of DNA molecule. It is also used in DNA replication. Okay, so DNA replication may we have already discussed it is used. It is used in organizing nanoscale objects. It is used in nanochemistry, as well as it is used in nano recombinant DNA technology. Okay, so we have discussed about all these types of DNA ligases. It is, you can cite it for the U Satyanarayan book. You can take the book of Gopalan, Raja Gopalan. So you can take any reference from it. And if you want more detail related to DNA ligase, so you can visit you can search it on Google, and you will find lot of stuff related to DNA ligase in recent journals also. So you can also go through the journals. You can read these journals properly also for the detailed related to DNA ligase. And if you want to know about the rDNA technology, about about different types of this recombinant, so restriction enzyme, the cloning vector, which is acts as cloning vector, which is not a cloning vector, all these information or all these topics related to biotechnology, you can see see my previous videos. Okay, so yeah, so thank you so much. So thanks for watching.